good man. He's a good elf too. All right. So hi, Tammy. Okie dokie, kids, we're going to begin. So a couple things briefly, housekeeping. This is a mixed level class, which I normally teach. Mixed level means you have a buffet of options. And so I want to invite you this morning to please exercise your freedom to choose. Choose what fits right for you. So I'll often give option A, option B, option C, and different postures, and just pick what works for you. Many times we have limitations or just our body is a little stiffer perhaps in the morning. So listen to your wise self and you won't go wrong. Secondly, props, if you have a yoga block or two, have those nearby. Make sure if you don't have a block, you could perhaps use a pillow or something, just a throw pillow off of the couch. And if you have neither, no worries. We'll give you options of that as well. As far as other props, you might need a cat toy. At my house, I have a new kitten. His name is Cash, and he makes appearances. Sometimes he kind of attacks me during class, so I always have to have a toy nearby. So I do apologize if there's some cat chaos, but hopefully he'll scoot on out. So let's drop in here and begin our practice. I want to start with a brief story. I love this story, and maybe you've heard it before. So parents were watching their amazing 4-year-old son. He took rubber bands and put them around the drawer pulls in his bedroom. He's 4 years old, and he begins to strum these rubber bands, and they're watching him and they're thinking, I don't know, maybe we should buy him an instrument. How about a violin? And so by age of 12, he was playing in his first symphony. By the age of 30, he was playing to sold out crowds. And his talent demanded $1,000 per minute in most venues. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's the famous violinist Joshua Bell. And so in 2007, someone approached Joshua and asked him to participate in a social experiment. It was an experiment about people's behaviors and priorities. And he said, sure, I'll do it. Excuse me just a second. He said, I'll do it. And they asked him to play his violin in the Washington, D.C. subway during rush hour. And so he shows up with his Stradivarius. Now, I didn't know what that was either. It's a $3.5 million violin, and also shows up with his baseball cap and his jeans, so he kind of just blends in. And he begins to play for 45 minutes. And this is all recorded. It's actually on YouTube. You can see it. And what they noticed in watching the recording is that no one even paused for at least 7 minutes. And then $1 was dropped in his case. And during that total 45 minutes, he made $32. $20 of that was from one person. So no one even paused for 7 minutes. Then there's $1 dropped in. And in total, only one person stopped for more than 5 minutes. And she handed him a tip and said, you are amazing. I saw you perform last night at the House of Congress. What are you doing here? So afterwards, they interviewed him and they said, how was that? And he said it was shocking and humbling, very humbling. Out of the thousands of people that walk by greatness that day, only 7 people paused to soak up the greatness. Why? Well, there's probably many reasons. One of them could possibly be because we are so in a rush. We're so in a hurry to get where we need to go. We are in a constant cycle of going and doing, and rarely do we take time to just be. So also it could be because we are often in a trance. We're kind of just walking through the routine of our life many times, and maybe we could call it sleepwalking. And so you might ask ourselves, how does this happen in our lives? How do we notice this happening in our lives? We rush by greatness, or we miss out on the beauty of a shooting star or a sunset because we're busy doing something else. Or we're in a trance and we just don't see the miracles that happen every day around us. And many times we don't see our loved ones because we are eyes down doing this. I know I'm as guilty as anyone else. And so yoga helps us to be more awake and more aware. while we're just sitting around, but also when we're out in nature, when we're in our life, so we can enjoy our life more. So how about we take those eyes right now and close them for a brief moment to center. I invite you to close the eyes and just sitting up nice and tall in your spine. And let's drop in and let the body be your grounding agent. And this, our good friend gravity, let gravity just hold your body in your space. So take a moment to feel that your seat is securely supported beneath you. You might notice that there are sounds in your house. Maybe it's quiet, but maybe it's kind of chaotic. Maybe someone's wrapping presents in the other room or cooking and you're hearing those sounds. Be open to that. It's part of your experience. Take a moment to pause in silence here. Today, as always, we're going to use the practice to slow down, to hone our skills of awareness, to tune up our awareness skills. We're going to bolster our ability to show up and be present, our ability to pay attention, and also bolster our pausing power, just the ability to be able to stop and notice and feel and drink in the fullness and the beauty of life. And the instruments that we'll be using today will be simply our breath, our body, our mind. So let us prepare our mental state here. Let us attune to this moment with the breath. The breath is the gateway to the present moment. Very simplistically, just breathe in. Notice that you're breathing in. Breathe it all in. And then breathe it all out. Do that 3 more times. Full attention. Breathe it all in. Breathe it all out. Notice if your mind has already gone somewhere else. Bring it back. Breathe it all in. Breathe it all out. And really feel this last one come in through your nose and all the way down into your lungs. And then 2 more rounds on your own. 2 more cycles of breath. Give the generosity of your attention to your breath. And simply let the corners of your mouth slightly turn up. Because there's a magic that happens when we pause, when we slow down. In that time, we get to recognize the greatness in ourselves that we so often forget about or aren't even aware that it's there. And now I'll invite you to join your hands together just briefly right in front of your heart. Take a small, simple bow, honoring the wisdom within and honoring this opportunity to practice, to enhance our skills of being more awake and aware so that ultimately we can just enjoy the richness of our life more. And then please lift your head, let your hands release, and eyes come back open. And before we start, I'm just checking in here. Are you hearing me okay? And sometimes the microphone rubs a little. I just want to make sure while I'm still seeing you. And someone give me a thumbs up or a, we can't hear you well. I appreciate that. Okay, thanks, Megan. Thanks, all is well. Woo, woo. All right, let's have some fun and slow down at the same time. We can do both, right? Okay, there's 45 of us here today. That's awesome. Okie dokie. So where are we starting? We're going to start. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to start standing, if you would please. Just stand and put your hands in your elf pockets if you have them. This thing's going pretty soon. So take a moment to stretch your arms up. I think I washed it last year and it shrunk because right now it's really short in the rise. Exhale, fold forward, let your head release. See what's happening here. I think I just heard a rip in my elf pants. And let your weight shift back into your heels a little and then forward into the balls of your feet. Just do a gentle rocking, slow back and forth. And then from there, bring your hands to your hips and slowly rise. Sorry, friends, the elf outfit has to go. It's too small for a forward bend. So reach your arms above your head again while I peel my elf skin off. And that bell is going to drive me crazy anyway. So reach your arms up again, reach high, and this time lift your heels, balance on the balls of your feet. Nothing brings us to the present moment like balance. So here we are, hugging our feet towards each other, stretching up, simply reaching, then let the heels come down. All right, bring your arms to your side here. So we're gonna palms face up, open the arms out for a moment, and just feel your shoulder blades kind of come towards each other on your back. And now close one arm on top of the other and round your upper back. And we'll go back and forth here. We're gonna open, take a moment to lift and elevate the heart, and then close and round. And you can feel that your spine is doing a subtle cat-cow position here. So open up, there's your cow, if you know that posture, and then cross over, round, and feel the cat pose. Do that one more time. Open, lift up as if to say, wow, my eyes are awake and I'm noticing everything around me. It's beautiful. And then round and close in. And we're going to add on to this a balance component. So open your arms out, shift your weight to whichever foot you want, it doesn't matter, and then just lift a leg. Just lift it on up. Here we are. And then bring the leg down and then close in. You guessed it. Now the other side, open up, feel the shoulder blades on the back and lift your other leg. Now maybe you're just putting your toe down. Okay, so lift whatever capacity feels right for you and bring it down. One more time each side. Round the back, feels so good to stretch the upper back. And then open out, lift the chest, lift the other leg, hold. Bring it all down and round it in, please. And the last one of these, open up, lift the chest and lift the opposite leg. However you want to lift it, just balance. Awesome. From here, place both feet down, hip width apart, hands on your thighs. I'm going to turn sideways and go into a deeper cat-cow. So lift all the way up, feel it from the base of your spine here, the tailbone, and then draw the tailbone under as you ripple up through the spine and look in. And then to make it even juicier, breathe with it. Inhale, nice, slow, forward with the chest, and then exhale, round and look inside. Our ability to pay attention starts here, feeling the movement, feeling the breath. One more time. And then exhale, rounding. And then slowly slide your hands down your legs back to a forward bend again. Let the head release and pause. Pause and feel and tune inward. Activate your antenna of attention. Like, what am I paying attention to today? So many things in my practice. From here, we'll swing the arms forward, reach all the way up to the ceiling. Bring the palms together and reach up and lean over to your right. And just stretch the side of the body. Hug the bottom arm up toward your ear. Don't forget to breathe, my children, breathe. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the second side. Lengthening through the sides of the body, opening up the breath capacity, the lung capacity as well. And then come back up. Release your arms down to your sides. So we're going to do one more arm pattern that's going to show up several times during class, and I call it the wow. So it's the W. So when we do stop to become really aware in our life, when we see a sunset or something, when we're still, we're like, wow, ooh, ah. So the arms will be in a W shape. Just think of it as the wow when you're awake. All right. So what we're going to do is arms at your sides, and then we'll start and piece it out, and then we'll make it fluid. How about that? So we're going to piece it out. We're going to let the arms start at the side. You'll lean forward and look towards the floor as you reach long. So your head's right between your ears now, and you're looking down. Part 2, you lift up towards the ceiling and then pull down into that W where the elbows are kind of pressing into your sides, and lift up. Wow, here we go. Then the arms just unfold down to your sides. Now do it more circular, more fluid. So reach forward, lift up, and pull down. And then let the arms drip down. Let's add the breath now. Inhale forward, exhale up and pull down. Arms just drip right on down. One more time. Inhale, round and reach. Lift up and exhale, pull down. Good. Now bring the hands down to your thighs again. Right here. Inhale forward into cow pose. Exhale, round into cat. Meet up again with that nice fluid breath of life inside of you. Again, rounding on the exhale. Inhaling, look up. Exhale, round. Bringing some fluidity into the spine this morning. Mine's feeling a little stiff. And last time, round. Slide your hands down your legs one more time, and you're welcome to put blocks here under your hands if that's more beneficial. And this time I want you to take your right foot and cross it behind your left. So right leg, I should say, cross behind your left. Do a crisscross forward fold and let the head release. Consciously let your shoulders drop towards your ears. You're going to feel so good after class today. We're going to balance out if you've been bent over wrapping gifts or cooking or carrying firewood or whatever. Maybe you've been out in the craziness of holiday traffic shopping. This is an opportunity this morning to just undo it. From here, we're going to uncross the leg and switch sides. So cross your left leg behind your right. Take a moment here just to feel any new sensations. We are warriors of awareness this morning. Not afraid to be paying attention fully. All right, from here, undo the legs, please. And now we're going to step, dun, 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 to our first downward dog, holiday dog. So bring your feet back and your arms forward in your down dog and just prance a little bit. Let your dog prance. I saw this video online yesterday of this beautiful white dog in the white snow prancing, and they had a holiday song with it. And I thought, oh, he's such a proud little guy. So why not let our dog prance today? Back and forth, bend the knees. Or maybe you have a different way of prancing. And then let's take a moment here to lower the knees down. Please sit the hips back into child's pose. Now, during these static moments where we're really pausing, we're really still, this is going to be our rich training ground to pause. And we're going to form and shape our breath in each opportunity here. So what I mean by that is first you've got to pay attention. And right now I want you to drop your awareness to your low back, like someone's sitting on your low back. As you inhale, try to form and shape a subtle lifting of your back ribs, your back waistline. You can do it. Breathe into it and release. So good to bring our awareness here with the breath. but also strengthen our respiratory muscles. Let's do one more deep conscious breath. And then lifting on up. From here, we're going to come right on down to our stomachs. And if you would please, bring your hands out, arms in front of you, a little straighter. I'm going to adjust my camera so we're not cut off here. So on your tummies, arms a little straighter. Got to get a drink of my eggnog. I'm just kidding. So here we are. Make sure your legs are long and strong, toenails clicking down, and your arms are out here, and you're on the tips of your fingers. And then just a little baby lift. That's it. Just lift up a little bit. And exhale, come back down. And same thing, arms are straight out in front of you. Lift a little. Now, if you have a stiffer back or more vulnerable back, keep your arms out here and back down. If you're ready to move your hands back a hand width, do that. Strong legs, inhale, lifting up. And a 4 count exhale down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep your hands there or move them back a little if you prefer. 4 counts up, inhale, 2, 3, 4, paying attention. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now a little longer with the breath. 5 counts up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Linger on 5. And go down slowly now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes 6. Paying attention. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Bring the hands by your chest. Please curl your toes under and up and back into downward facing dog we go. And once you're here, check to make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, your feet are hip width apart. And then let's rock the pelvis. So it's like doing a segment of cat-cow. So we're just going to tilt the lumbar. So start by bending your knees. That will help. Gives you freedom to move your pelvis more easily. And then shine your lights of your of your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. So extend so you have a lumbar curve. And then just tilt under with the pelvis. So we're just moving the lower part of the spine. Once again, let the tailbone move upward. If you had a tail, you're lifting it up. And then take the tail between your legs as you draw under. Do that one more time. Just rock in the pelvis and tuck it under. Ah, yeah. So now we're going to go into the wave runner, I call it. It's a wavy dog. So we're going to let the tail lift up towards the ceiling for a moment. And now as we draw under, we're going to slowly move forward into a plank. So here we go. Draw the tail between your legs. Let that move up your spine as you come forward to a plank. As your head starts to lift, bend your knees and then glide back into downward dog. There you go. Your tail is up nice and high now. Start to draw the tail under as you wave forward through your spine. Come here to plank. As the chin lifts, bend the knees and glide back again. And you got it now. So draw the tail under. Just keep it going in a nice circular pattern. As the chin lifts, you bend the knees and glide back and up. Here comes my little elf friend, Cash, right on time. I bet your animals are near you as well, aren't they? They love doing yoga with us. Come forward, last time plank, bend the knees and extend on up. Usually they come right underneath you, don't they, on the mat? Yes, hello. Well, hello. It's not about you today, so sorry. And now let's lower to child's pose. Child's pose, and let yourself go into the awareness of the breath, forming and shaping a deeper breath. So just settle in. So we pay attention to the breath. We're sharpening our ability to focus. we're increasing our ability to pause, our pause power. When we can pause, it really opens us up to the beauty of life, to the miracles in life that we otherwise wouldn't see. One more deep breath into the low back. And then from here, lifting back up, coming back to downward facing dog, yet another version. Excuse me, sir, you're in my way. Oh, thank you very much. Why is the rug not sufficient? He has to be on the mat. Here we go, lift the hips high. And now what we're gonna do is bring your feet together, please. Bring your feet together and then roll your feet, your heels to the left, and just stack your right foot on top of your left. That's it. We're going to keep both hands grounded. Just feel your hips over to the left there, stacking. And then we'll go the opposite direction. Let your heels drop to the right, and then you'll just pick up that left foot a little bit, stack it on top. Feel the deliciousness on this side. Welcome your breath into the posture. So we shape our breath, and the breath helps shape each posture, each movement. Come back to center. Now we're going to change it a bit. Go to the first side again. Hips drop to the left, right foot stacks. Now be aware of your bottom leg. You're going to bend it and bring that knee down to the ground. So this is our nice way that we're going to come down onto our side and then come all the way down onto your forearm. Okay, so from here, we're going to stack both legs, going into a posture that I call Mermaid. Feels so good for the low back. So stack your legs and stack your hips. And then for a moment here, just be aware of your bottom ribs. See if you can lift them up away from the floor. Keep them lifted. And this might be plenty for you. This part right here, the top hip, we want to make sure that it stays slightly forward. So we're not rolling back, in other words. So keep it forward or stacked. Now, if you want to go deeper, you just move your left hand out here, and then you start to lift your left elbow little by little by little. Maybe your arm goes all the way straight, maybe not. And once you're up, check in here. If you can bring this top hip a tiny bit more forward, chances are you might feel a little more awakening, a little more opening on the underside. So just pausing here in your beautiful mermaid or merman. Oh, this one always feels so good. It gets down through the side of your back that often gets kind of bitey in the QL area. And then from here, we're gonna lower down. You're gonna bend your bottom knee, put your hands down, and then you can just swivel and push back to down dog. How about that? That was pretty finessed. Good job. Let's do the opposite side. So drop the hips to the right. Bend the right leg and just place it on the ground. That kind of just lowers us down gracefully. Come onto your forearm. Sorry, my back is with you. And right here, would take a moment to lift the underside of the ribs. So you use your strong oblique muscles to activate there. And then you could explore. Take your right hand out. Remember to keep this top hip gently moving forward. And perhaps you can fully straighten the right arm, or maybe there's a little bend there. Check in on the top hip, bring it forward. And don't forget to breathe. Awesome. And then we're going to bend the bottom leg, lower your chest first, bend the bottom leg, and once again, come into downward facing dog, please. Prance your dog a little bit. And as you're doing it, for a moment, bring full attention to your feet. Feel the toes, the balls of the feet, the arches, heels, the ankles even, as you're prancing here. And now from here, I'm going to invite you to slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Ground your heels here. Here we are in Uttanasana, forward fold.
bringing attention inward. Somewhere I read years ago, the only real currency that we have, any of us, is the ability to pay attention. I love that. What are we paying attention to in our life? Who are we paying attention to? So slightly bend your knees, push your seat back further, bring your hands to your upper thighs right above your knees, and then glide forward with your heart like you're doing a cobra, and bring yourself right on up to a beautiful standing posture. Very good. So let's walk up to the front of our mat if you've moved back like I have. Coming on up to the front of the mat, and take a moment here with your hands on your low belly. So I just place it right over your navel region, one hand on top of the other. This is one of those beautiful moments where we get to pause and work on the skill of being still and paying attention, being aware. So hands are stacked, and I'll invite you to close your eyes for a moment or two. And then feel the next breath that comes in through your nose, and feel as you empty out. You can breathe in and out through the nose fully, or in through the nose, out through the mouth, whichever you prefer. Excuse me. And do that again, deep breath. Maybe feel the belly subtly rise and expand into your hand when you inhale. A soft belly breath, and exhale. One more time, fully shape the breath and witness it. And release. And now swing the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach high. And then exhale, coming down into chair pose. Bring the arms out in front of you. So right here in a nice deep seat in chair pose. Swing your arms back now beside your pelvis. Roll your shoulders up onto your back. Put some tone through the core here. Awareness of the ribs pulling gently into the body. And then you can stay right here, hovering a little lower, or you can lift your heels. I call this drinking bird. Just visualize that little bird bath in front of you, and your little beak is right in there slurping away. Holding here. The heels can stay down if that element of the posture is not appealing to you for whatever reason. Good. Now we're going to lower the heels and reach down to the mat. Oh, so good. Pick up your right foot, step it over the cat or dog on your mat, and come to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Now here comes the wow factor again, the wow hands, arms. So we'll come up and bring the arms at our sides. We're in this nice Anjane lunge, so hug your legs towards the midline. And now let's reach forward, reach way out, hovering over your front leg. Rise up and pull the elbows down. Arms drip down. Inhale, forward reach. Coming up, exhale, pull down. One more time, cycle it through. Inhale, forward reach. Exhale, up, pull down. Wowza, hold there. Draw your shoulder blades on your back. Open up. Nice, beautiful little back bend. And then come up and around. Well done, touch down. Lift the back leg. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to bend both knees. Feet are hip width apart. Once your knees are bent, hug your feet and shins towards each other. Feel that drawing in action. And then arch your low back. So stick your bottom up towards the sky so you have a lumbar curve. And then draw your ribs up into your body so you feel a good integration of the core. And then we'll all take our time, however you want to get there. Step your right foot up between your hands. Dun, da, da. And then lower the back knee down. Oops, and I'm getting attacked. Sorry, buddy. Go over there. Inhale, come up right here, arms at your sides. Here we go. Inhale, forward, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Linger for a moment. Again, inhale, forward, big circular motion. Reach up, pull down. Make it nice and fluid. One last time.
and reach down to the mat. Lift the back leg. This time we'll all step forward. Pause for a moment and bend both knees deeply. Push your seat back. We're going to retrace our tracks through the drinking bird. You're going to take your arms at your sides, roll your shoulders onto your back, engage your abdomen, and then lift your heels if you choose. Holding here, legs are drawing energetically towards each other, paying full attention so you don't fall on your beak. Good, heels go down as you swing your arms and reach through and up, all the way up, and let the hands come rest respectfully in front of the heart. Pause and feel the breath. It's shaping you right now. Feel it. Feel your ribs and lungs expand, drinking in life. And once again, we go. Inhale, stretch the arms on up. Maybe a gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, come up to chair pose. Reach in front of you first, sitting to the depth of your desire here. And then arms come back. Opportunity to use your posture muscles as you draw the shoulders up and maintain. Heels can lift if you choose, or keep the heels grounded. And pausing, take a little sip here again. Maybe there's eggnog in the bird bath today. From here, we're gonna drop the heels and reach down, touch the ground. Step the right leg up and back to deep lunge. And this time we'll come up into crescent legs. So just take your time. Steady it goes, steady and slow here. Slowing down. Draw your legs, your feet and legs towards the middle. And then just check to make sure shoulders are above, what are these things called? Hips. Here we go, arms dangling. Now we have this nice fluid motion. Here we go. Inhale, reach way out, hover low over the front thigh, and up you go. And exhale, pull down. Feel the back muscles engage as you draw down. One more time, or two more times. Inhale, forward, pull up, and draw back. Last one, forward and up, and draw back into the wow. Wow, I see the beauty of the world, see the miraculous things around me when my eyes are open, and then touch down. This time we'll step into a plank pose. Hold and plank. Slowly lower down to your abdomen and inhale to your cobra, the height that feels right for you. Please keep your elbows bent for now. Exhale, lower down. Pushing back to downward facing dog. Hips are nice and high. And then let's take a step forward with the right leg, everyone. Bring it on up. Steady yourself here. You might move your back foot an inch or two to the left to widen your base. Many times that can help us with stability. We're not in a rush, right? We're just taking time to set up our foundation, to hug in, to find some stability. And then from there, we add on. Here we go with the arms as you're ready. Inhale, reach out in front of you, touch down if you need to, and come up and pull down, lift the heart. Second time. And exhale. Third and last. And slowly come down, touch the floor, please. Pause here, step forward. Bring the hands onto your hips and squeeze your hips. Push your hips down towards your heels and slowly rise up. How you doing? Are you still with me? Cash is. He's just a playful little booger there. Bring your hands together. We're going to go into, I must be in the bird theme today. We're going to go into the flamingo. So we'll bend the knees and shift the weight onto your right foot. We're going to balance on the right leg. I want you to pick up the left foot, sweep it back a little, flex the left foot, and imagine the sensation, or feel the sensation of squeezing your left heel up towards your left bottom. Bend your standing knee a little more, and then see if you want to lean forward a little more in your flamingo. The flamingo must be at the bird bath too. I have a shaky flamingo today. Here we go. Holding here, hands are together in front of the heart. You're squeezing the back heel up. And then lift, come up to standing. Very good. Let's do the second side. So ground into your left foot. Please bend your knees. You're going to keep the standing leg bent as you sweep and squeeze the back heel, the right heel up towards your bottom, and then maybe explore leaning forward a little bit. Bending the standing knee, flamingo. And slowly come up. Very nice. Bring the hands down to your sides and bring the hands once again onto the belly. I'm going to grab my block here. If you have blocks, bring them to the front of your mat for the next set. And if you don't, no worries, I'll give you options. Let's take a moment to form and shape the breath on purpose here, just bringing attention to the belly. Standing tall, inhale, let the belly rise, just subtly, don't force too much. And exhale it out. 2 more full breaths. The end of your last exhale, bring the hands together. So inhale, sweep the arms up once again, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. We come down. You can use blocks if you'd like. And then step your right leg back into a lunge. If you're using the blocks, bring them right on either side of your front ankle. And if you're not, you're not. Bring your right hand to the ground and slowly start to turn into a twist here. And then unfold your arm, reach it up nice and slow. Open the throat a little. And breathe consciously here, just like you did a moment ago, standing with hands on the belly. Bring that awareness, that skillful awareness of breath into your posture. Slowly touch down. From here, we're going to lower the back knee. And once you've lowered the back knee, take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now you might choose to stay here. There's a lot of deep stretch here in the hip flexor. You might stay here and lean a little to the left. There's an option 1. You can stay in option 1 or continue on with the arm coming back. Your toes are curled under here. Maybe you find your heel. Turn the belly a little more straight so you're not listing to the right, and add the other arm up. So here's an option 2. Yeah, you choose 1 or 2. Deep breath wherever you're at. And we'll all come back up, circle the hands down to the mat. Now from here, we'll lift the back leg. This is where the blocks might be handy. You can put your hands on them. We're going to shift the weight to the front leg and simply elevate or lift the back leg. Now you can modify this by bending the back leg in half, maybe shortening the lever, or just touch the toes down. Option 1 would be to put the right foot down at this moment and stand up. Option 2 would be to bring the knee in and stand up on one leg and come up to a balance. You get to pick. So you might have the other foot on the ground here, just standing strong in your Tadasana. And then let's take the leg back behind us. Extend it straight. It can go low, or you can lift it a little higher, like a Warrior 3 variation. You choose, low or high. And then we did this earlier. Reach to the floor or the blocks. Take the back leg and cross it behind the front. Do that crisscross. And bow a little deeper if that's available to you. And simply feel the companion of your breath here. Now, while you're here, try bending the front leg without lifting the heel. Bend the left leg in this case. Feel the back leg fully straight, and then strongly press your back heel, your right heel, into the mat. Really push it down, ground it, and let the hips ever so slightly drift to the right, just a tiny bit. And then we'll uncross the legs, step into the feet, into a mountain pose or Uttanasana. And from here, we're gonna step the left leg back. Lower the knee down, please. Come upright and pause a moment. Back toes curled under. So option one, sweep the left arm forward and rise. Maybe you lean to the right. Maybe that feels so good and you want to stay there. Or proceed to take the arm behind you, reaching to the heel or wherever you can touch. Maybe even put a block there and then reach up with the top arm. Wherever you're at, can you be awake? Can you really be aware of what you're feeling, how you're breathing, even what you're thinking? Coming back up as you're ready, we'll all meet back down to the ground. Lift the back leg. This is where we're going to start to move forward, my friends. So you can put your hands on blocks if you want and lift the back leg. Kicking the back heel up strong towards the ceiling. Awesome. Now you can choose to either set the left foot down right on the ground there, or bring the leg through. Bend your standing knee, hands in front of the heart as you rise, balancing. A warrior of awareness. You're paying attention. Lengthening up through the spine. And then we'll all come into some shape that's balanced. So maybe your foot is back here low and you're leaning slightly forward. Maybe you drift it up a little. Make it yours. After all, it is your practice. You don't have to do anything I say. And heck, with online, I'll never know if you're doing it or not. Good. Now lower the hands to the blocks or the floor, and please cross the left leg behind the right. And we'll fold forward here and pause into the breath, eliciting the full cooperation of your nervous system through each slow breath. And as we did on the first side, let's bend the front knee a little. Keep the front heel grounded. Actually, keep both heels grounded. Feel the back heel though, the left heel, dig it down into the mat. Commit it down. And then the back leg is fully straight if possible. Let the hips drift to the left a little. Crisscross applesauce. Feel it. And then hips back to center. Uncross the legs. And let's all place our hands mindfully on our pelvis. Lift the shoulders onto the back. And up we go to a standing position. All right, kids, I'm just checking in to make sure that we did not become disconnected. So we're going to do one more balance standing. And then we're going down to the ground and do some core on the floor, some core galore. So let's see here. I have options to pick from. Let's do this option. Now you might want to put your fingers on a wall or the back of a chair or the couch if you need to. If possible, take the hands and interlace them on the back of your right leg. Another option that I've liked lately is to take my block and to put my block under the hamstring. So either your hands or your block, you choose. So it's right under the meat of the hamstring, the belly there, thick part. And then Pull up with your arms at the same time you push down with your leg. So your hands might be interlaced under the leg or the block variation. And then just explore straightening with power. So you're pushing the leg down, pulling up on the arms. And then last part, try to retract the leg into the hip socket. In other words, just pull it back in. You'll feel your hips drift back. But keep the heart lifted. Just hold steady. Feel the symphony of your breath. My breath is quickened all of a sudden. And then slowly bend and release and take a bow. Let's do the second side. So this time I'm going to do it with my hands to feel variation. So ground on your right foot or whichever foot. You might be on the opposite side. Interlace. And we're going to pull up with the arms, push down with the leg with equal intensity, and then start to straighten. Maybe it doesn't go all the way straight. Maybe you're holding onto a wall and doing some other variation. That is perfection. Draw the leg now, just with intention. Just think about, I'm pulling the leg back into the socket and lifting up through the spine more. Find a steadiness through your attention, paying attention. And then please bend and release. Right, come on down to the floor. And please have a block nearby. And here we are down on the floor. So much fun for you here. I want you to try this, and you can, again, choose from the buffet of choices. Place your feet on the ground, one hand on each hamstring, similar action that we just did, standing. Be mindful of your back, okay? So maybe you keep your toes down. So we're gonna press up into the hamstrings and then pull the legs back or encourage them to sink back into the sockets, that awareness. Engage your abdomen and start to lean back. And then just explore for you. Maybe it's toes lightly off the floor, but you're still plugging in with the legs. The arms are pulling back, the legs are pushing into the hands. Maybe you explore bringing the feet up a little bit, half of a boat pose, Navasana, or maybe you go all the way. Keep strong action through your legs, pulling them in, extending out through your feet. Float your boat. And release. Good job, everyone. Now we're going to recline. We do need a block or two blocks if you have them. Let me show you this groovy thing called ab churning, okay? It's like churning ice cream for Christmas Eve night, but we're going to be churning our abs instead. Now, if you don't have blocks, you could use a pillow underneath, so you have something to clamp on with from your heels to your hamstrings. I'm going to show you the two block variation, but if you don't have two blocks, just use a throw pillow or even roll up a blanket perhaps. So I'm going to lift my legs, take a quick peek here. I'm going to put the blocks right on my hamstrings and then clamp my ankles or my heels against the blocks. That in itself takes talent, and you have it. I know you have it. So squeeze and hold there. So you can feel your hamstrings are fully turned on here. Now the arms can just float out to the side, unless you have a cat that's going to bite you. And then from here, you're just going to do a circular motion, both legs going in the same direction. So I'm doing it right now. If you want to look, maybe you're already with me doing it. I'm clamping the heels against either a blanket, a pillow, or blocks, and a nice circular motion with the legs. And then reverse it, go the opposite direction. It's a nice isometric action happening, strengthening through the back of the legs. Also just waking up through the core here, a little churning action. One more time, and then we're going to hold still here. Just hold still, squeeze the blocks against the hamstrings, and bring the hands behind your head. Lift your shoulders up for a moment
Hold here. And then release the head down. Now, keep the head down. We're going to lift the hips up. 1, it's like you're bringing your knees up towards your head. 2, keep squeezing the blocks or the blanket or the pillow. 3, just rolling your pelvis up off the ground. 4, don't forget to breathe. Notice when smoke starts coming out of your navel. It's good to pay attention. 1 more time, please. And release. Oh, so good. Release the blocks out. Ooh, stretch your legs up. That will feel good to release the hammies. And then here comes another variation. So please place the block between your knees. Take the legs to tabletop. Now, for any reason this is not feeling good on your back, keep your feet on the ground and you can do some variations here. I'll show you. Okay, so if your legs are up, please bring the hands behind your head. Now, if your feet are down, also bring your hands behind your head. You'll just do some gentle lifts here, holding and releasing. Okay, that's your focus if your feet are down. Please honor your back. Squeeze the block. If you're in tabletop or wherever you're at, squeeze the block. Now we're going to lift the right leg, extend it, and lift the head and shoulders and hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower the right leg, lower your head. Good job. Let's do the second side. Lift the left leg, lift the head and shoulders, and hold for 3, 2, 1. And release. And we're just going to add on one more thing, but let's take the feet to the ground first, everyone. Take a pausing moment and simply feel the belly. Let it be soft. And then once again, lift up. We're going to add on this time. Please extend your right leg up, squeeze in on the block, lift your head and shoulders. And now take your left arm and reach it across, way across your body, holding 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. We'll second side it now. Lift the left leg up, squeeze in, lift the torso, take the right arm across, holding 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back, and then head down. Feet to the ground, and on purpose, arch the low back away from the ground. Feel the ribs and encourage them to expand laterally as you breathe in deeply. And then one more. Here we go. Lift the legs, squeeze in on the block. Now, I'm going to give you, let's all do this. Bring the hands onto your thighs for a little abdominal bracing. We're going to squeeze in on the block. Press the hands gently against your thighs, but resist thighs pushing back. So holding here, not a lot of pressure at all in your hands. Like 20% of your strength pressing, very small. So this is going to be continued option if the next option is not for you, okay? So everyone take a breather for just a second, let your feet drop. And now you either do that option again, that's the bracing, so you go there, or you do these little pulses where your hands are behind your head and you lift your shoulders and you squeeze the block. And then you lift the hips in, 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 in. Little exhale. One more time. And release your feet and head down. Fantastic, wherever you're at. Take the block out and let the legs just open into a butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet come together and come into that place of rest. Take a moment there, really soak up all the sensations. When we slow down, whether it's on or mat or just in our daily life,
We have an opportunity to recognize our greatness, our potential. It's not just outside of us, it's in us, each one of us. And placing the hands on your low belly for a few moments, just tuning into this incredible matrix of energy in the body. And just feel the breath slowly moving in and moving out. Release your jawline. If your teeth are clenching, just give yourself time to let go there. And then slowly close the legs. And once you've closed the legs, bring your knees in towards your chest. Knees towards chest. And then let's round this out here. Our class is going to about 10:50, so we have about 10 more minutes here. So if you're looking at the clock and wondering how long is this going on, that's just a little bit, maybe 5 minutes extra today. So from here, this feels so good on the low back. I've been doing this a lot in the mornings, and it's just the ticket. It feels so good. So bring your knees in towards your chest, please. And if you need to peek up and take a quick look at this, that might be helpful. You're going to roll to the right and let the bottom leg land on the floor. Just let it relax. The top leg right on the inside of your knee, you'll give it a little pedestal with your hand. Your elbows on the floor. And then you're going to stretch this leg straight, or explore that possibility. Hold it. Okay? And then you're just going to stretch your left arm up over your head. So this is the general shape. I'll give you a moment to go there if you were watching. But what's more important than the shape is the action inside of the shape. So actively reach up. Reach your arm so high, like you're trying to reach for the peanut brittle that's hidden up on top of the refrigerator you put there last week. Reach your arm way up, and at the same time, drop your hip way down. Drop your hip away down from your armpit, from your rib cage. Yeah, so your foot might be drifting towards your head in that general vicinity. This feels so much spaciousness coming in to the left side of the body. The more we practice yoga and meditation, the more we hone our sensitivity. We get so in tune with all the little nuances of the body, the magnificence of the body, its ability to heal itself. Bend the left leg now. We're going to bring the legs up and over to the second side. We know where we're going now. Drop the bottom knee, excuse me, and then extend the top leg. Give it a pedestal with your hand on the inside of your right knee. Extend the leg out. Again, your left elbow is on the floor to really hold the weight of the leg. And now let's add that shape of the arm reaching up, really reaching up, and drop the hip down. So the right hip is going down towards the other end of your mat. Right arm is reaching up. And breathe into it. One more slow breath. And then please bend your top leg and once again come onto your back. Now at this point, I'm going to give you an opportunity to lie flat on your back, or if you'd prefer to sit up in a meditative posture, do that. This is where, pardon me, I'm having a moment over here where a cat is going into a space heater. There we go. And in this time, I'm either going to, if you're upright, you'll feel the meditation posture. If you're laying on your back, it will be like Shavasana. And I'll bring us all into a nice progressive relaxation or systematic relaxation. So remember, I know I'm just like you. This isn't a point of the class that sometimes I want to skip over because I have things to do. I have to get back into the rush of my life. But for today, if possible, see if you can stick with me 5 more minutes. Your body, your mind, your heart will appreciate it. So let the eyes close wherever you're at and begin to welcome this richness of stillness on purpose, consciously choosing to be awake and aware and ever so present. Giving the generosity of your attention once again to feeling your own innate breath. The innate breath is the breath when we're not trying to influence it or control it or shape it. It's just as it is. Take this moment to check in. How am I breathing? Is it slow or fast? Is it shallow or deep? How am I breathing? And then giving your full attention to this beautiful vessel of your body, starting at the head, and just feeling the weight of your skull release into the mat, the floor. If you're upright, just let the head drift back a little. Feel the innate breath show up. And then feel the shoulders. Maybe your shoulders, like most of us, have become tense with all of the things that needed to get done for the holidays. Let them soften. Even mentally touch base with gravity. Gravity is our friend that can, at this point, can really just draw tiredness out of your body. So as you exhale, just feel your entire back releasing into the mat. Your entire torso as if it's just being given a big hug by gravity. Let your belly be so soft. Relax down through your buttocks and pelvis and into your legs. And all the way down to your feet. Just give your feet permission to settle, to be heavy. And we'll go on out to the tips of your toes as well. Tips of the toes. Feeling the innate breath. And simply asking yourself the question, where am I breathing? Where is the locality of my breath? Do I feel it more in my chest, my rib cage, deeper down in the belly? Again, we're not trying to change it, just witnessing. With each exhalation, just notice when you breathe out, reminding your body that you're in a safe space. It's okay to let down your guard for 1 more minute, 1 more glorious minute. And very gently now, no rush at all. Try not to spring back into the moment, but just gradually show back up. Of course, you're at home and you can stay laying there as long as you want. If you do feel that you want to wake up now, just start to wiggle your toes and fingers. And taking your time, bring your knees towards your chest and rolling off to your right side. And then pressing yourself up to a seated position as you're ready. Once you're in your seat, just bring the hands up to the heart center. And as you bow your head, send a spark of gratitude to yourself. This is one of the busiest times of the year, and you marked this time off for you this morning, so good for you. I hope and wish for us all through this practice and the practices of meditation and breath is that it helps us cultivate a joyful, energetic body, a loving and compassionate heart, and a reflective and alert mind, and a lightness of being. I wish that for us all, and wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope to see you on New Year's Day for another session together. Namaste. So much gratitude. Thank you for being here this morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you feel well. Someone's asking to see this little critter. I'm going to bring him up here. Hey, buddy. This is my buddy, Cash, who's wide awake this morning. Cash, like Johnny Cash. And he wants to say Merry Christmas too, don't you, buddy? Say Merry Christmas. Yes, he is a handful. So lovely to have you all. Thank you. I'm reading Howdy Cash, Mary says. Yeah, he's getting so big. Look how big he is. He's only 4 months old. He's going to be a big boy. Oh, I see so many names. Hi, Lori Stewart from Florida. Love to see you here. That's awesome. I'll look forward to seeing you. Look for the email, social media, and so forth on New Year's Day. We'll get together and do a beautiful process of celebrating our successes and moving forward into 2022. Holy moly. Thank you, Nancy Wagner, for being here. Denise, hello. Oh, Ron, too. Hey, Ron. 2 days in a row, Denise. Good for you. Thanks, Kristen. Nice to have you here. Kayla, lovely to see you here. Your cat was playing during your class, too. I know I hope he wasn't disruptive. He was just going at it today. Powell family, thank you for being here. Karen and Olivia. Aw, thanks for being here, guys. Kathy Gilbert. Aw, thanks for being here too. You're making my day. This is like Christmas presents to see each person's name. I so miss people. I miss being with people. I do teach an online or an in-person class on Tuesdays, 2 of them, one at 9:30 in the morning and 5:30 at night. I found a space downtown that I'm teaching live. So if you're interested, let me know. Lori, thank you. Merry Christmas. Russ is doing so much better. We're so grateful, beyond grateful this year. Going through that COVID scare was not fun, but he's recovering well. It's slow, but it's happening, so that's good. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to have you here too. I just saw your name there. Thank you. Sarin and Joel. I see you there. Vicky. All right, everyone. You have a fabulous rest of your day. Have a great Christmas tomorrow. And I'll see you in the new year, perhaps. I'm going to sign off here. Unless there's any questions, I'm looking at the chat box, happy to answer them, or just let me know how you're feeling. Oh, that little booger. Oh, Deb, it was nice to see you. I think it's the Deb that I saw the other day at the hipster. It was nice to see you. Yes. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off here and go take care of my kitty cat, my widow kitty cat. Have a good one. Love to y'all. Bye-bye.